Yo, it's Timothy Glean. I'm coming at you with another one of these porch videos. As I stated in my last video that I recorded and released, and of course this isn't the next video after that. I probably got about 4 or 5 videos that I'm going to release before this one, but this is kind of the concluding videos, the final topics to this series or this thing. I want to do more outdoor talks, but I want to make it more sporadic, not just on my porch. I'm kind of done with this. I got over 20 videos of this, and it's nice, and I believe that I've gotten a lot off my chest. Just after looking back before starting this series over and looking back at all those topics, yeah, I've gotten a lot off of my chest, and I'm thankful and grateful that I got to get all that off of my chest, and now I can move forward with my life. You know, there's some things that I had to reconcile with God about, and some wrongs that I've partaken in. So I'm just thankful that I got another day of grace. So I'm thankful for that. And you know, just want to continually speak about some stuff that, you know, really been grinding my gears since walking into the truth with the truth of the Most High. And this is something that may ruffle a couple of feathers, but whenever you're a black person that don't vote, you're always going to get shamed. And as you can see from the title of the video, those are the choices that we had. And as you see, just next year, these are the choices that we have. And I want you to understand that this is very, very dangerous, especially for those that consider themselves as Christians. You're walking on a dangerous line where one side, Christians, which are conservatives, many conservatives worship Donald Trump because maybe some of the policies and things that they want to cater to Christians or evangelicals or the Catholic Church, and you know, other aspects like that. So music was love, you know. So there's things about the right wing that, you know, rubs me the wrong way. And a big part of what rubs me the wrong way about the right wing, and the reason why I'm starting off with this, is because there's some underlying things about the right wing that I feel like people, and even Christians that are right wing conservative voters, do not get. Is that right wing completely disregards the struggles of the brown community. They disregard and don't care about our struggles, and they want us to sweep it under the rug and just completely forget about it and never hold anybody accountable and this and that. And then we have a left wing which wants to over cater to our community to a point where they coddle us and we don't hold ourselves accountable, and we're the victims all the time. So I get both sides. I get both sides. You know, one side is very much operating out of white guilt, and the other side is operating out of forget them people. And not to say it like that, because, you know, there's conservatives and things like that that are cool with black people. I don't believe all people that are conservative and vote conservative are people that are races and Confederate flags and things like that. I don't believe that, and I don't believe that everybody that is a left-winger is like radical baby killers and, you know, just don't care about families and nuclear families and things like that. But when you radically look at both ends of the spectrum, radically one side is baby killers and against nuclear families, hate men, hate women that wants to take care of their children and raise their children and take care of her man, and hates marriage and just things like that, you know, at least God's institution of it. And the other side, you know, it just, you know, boosts up the higher, you know, income people, and, you know, just once again, just like they're trying to rid critical race theory. They made a theory around things that happen in real life, and they said it's theory. And, you know, so they want to take aspects of us learning about our history in America out the books and out the textbooks and out that, and, you know, it's so many different aspects. So me, my whole life, and it's funny because when I was finally able to vote, at least when I was 17, it wasn't a legal vote that counted, but I know that these votes are what gauges the future voters. And I didn't vote, you know, and people were like, oh, this is the first black president, you know, you need to vote because this is the first black president. And I'm 17, like, I remember I was 23 years old and the next vote came. And it's funny because I remember I'm old enough to vote, people telling me I should vote because this man is black, you know. And then of course I didn't vote for him, but he got reelected in the office. So this is when I was a little bit older and I got to pay attention to more things. And something that I've noticed and paid attention to during Barack Obama's tenure and as his second running as president, he didn't do nothing for the black community at all. He represented another community in their civil rights. And next thing you know, our civil rights have been ignored once again, you know. So we got police brutality now during his terms that have been exploited now since we have the advancement of cell phones. Now we can see what they've been doing to us since being in America. You know, so now these outrages are coming out and there's been riots over, you know, black men being killed out here by the police. And that's a real thing. You know, and it seems like, you know, and I was one of them because I do believe it's like, why not have this outrage when we do this to ourselves? But I get the outrage that we have regardless when they're doing riots and stuff like that, because police, as they think, are supposed to protect and serve. But if you really understand why the police force was made in this country, you'll realize they ain't made to protect us. This wasn't formed to protect us, especially brown people. We're not meant to be protected by our community. Our people are meant to be protected by the men. That's how it always been. In any community, in any civilization, if you were protected by somebody, it was by men. We do got one side that don't care about men. We got one side that don't care about masculine men, and we got one side that cares about families, that cares about but cares about cares at a certain level. You know, so when I look at the aspects of Donald Trump and Joe Biden, I feel like people are accusing Donald Trump for what Joe Biden is. It's sad. You know, and yes, he's our president, but, you know, I'm not here to rebuke our president or, you know, speak bad about our president. He's the president of this nation for a reason, you know. But haven't you noticed when he become president, haven't you noticed that the country crumbled more? And many people would say when Donald Trump became president that, oh, it got worse. No, it never got worse from Donald Trump. It's been worse. Whenever you have a land of people, like, you've seen the atrocities, you know the atrocities. I'm not here to kind of bring up the past, but it seemed like one side, and that's the right wing, it's like, oh, don't bring that up. We're not there anymore. We're moving on. We're moving on where nobody's never been accountable. Because I don't care if you're a Republican or if you're a Democrat. I don't care. Nobody's ever brought up reparations. I don't see nobody who bringing up reparations. We got a radical right wing that. How can we gauge that? They didn't go through those problems. They didn't go through those issues. When you realize psychologically, I deal with those things psychologically. I deal with so much psychologically because the effects of that Willie Lynch stuff, the effects of try to be a man and stand up and see how beaten down that you get, you know. So you know, it's tough, you know. It's real tough, you know, once you're a black man that's not political, but aware of politics. It's tough. It's tough when you open your eyes and see that no matter left wing or right wing, they're both a part of the same bird. And it's both sides are a part of the dividing of this whole entire nation and country. It's like Eastern Conference versus Western Conference. It's like the Super Bowl. It's this team against that team. That's exactly what it's like. But both sides, if both sides can't come together, Jesus said it himself. He said, a house divided against itself can't stand. That thing will fall. And that's what we get with left wing, right wing. You see how Joe Biden and Donald Trump are with each other. The smear campaigns just coming at each other. You see that both sides, they doing crimes. But it seems like in the media now that's focused towards the left, Donald Trump is demonized. And one is just like, we're going to sweep that under the rug, you know. Donald Trump says all this thing about other races of people that's outside his country, and people demonize him. Joe Biden said the worst about black people in America, and we do not care, because it shows how much we care about ourselves. It shows our self-esteem as a whole. Where we can demonize somebody for speaking about other nations and other people, he just being an American. That's what he doing. But not once have I ever heard Donald Trump say anything about who he believes is Americans, black people. He believes black people are Americans. He believed that we were the biggest aspect in building this country and this nation, which we are. Our people, day back, we were the builders of this country and the inventors of a lot of the major things that we use today, and we will not get credit for it. Just things in culture and entertainment now, just music, all the sounds that you hear, everything from rock and roll to everything. I'm not trying to exalt one group of people above another, but this is going to go along the lines of the next one that I record, because ultimately all of this points to one thing. Like, there's a group of people that are very special to the point that there's a black vote. They call us the black vote. And there's this fight over the black vote. And we can go to the conservative black Christians, which will vote Republican, so we want to cater to them. Or we got the super duper, like, radical left black community over super spiritualized and believes in this and that and that and this, and love is love, and whatever you want to believe and whatever you want to think. But they're pulling our community apart. Like, this side and that side is pulling our people specifically apart. They're pulling us apart with all their movements, all their politics, all their jargon, all their broken promise. Like, and I mean, the Republicans never promised us anything. By the way, it's always been the Democrats that always promise us stuff just to get in the office. But once they get in the office, then they can't do nothing. And then blame things on the Republicans that things ain't getting passed when you're not. And I look at it like, man, this is the enemy. You know, he's the one that's above all these principalities. So we can blame a person, we can blame a man, we can blame, no, it's a system that's in place. And we can't forget that no matter who's in place, rather it's a Democrat or Republican, there's a system. Why do you think there's no independent presidents? Because maybe that independent president is the best option. And when I saw, like, I wanted to vote independent, when I saw that, and I said, I'm going to vote independent, and I saw that the independent presidential candidate only had like 1 million to 2 million votes against the 60 to 70 million votes. How hopeless is that? And people say, oh, vote anyways. It makes it, no, it don't make no difference. It's a Democrat or a Republican going into office. So the next time we vote, it's going to be Donald Trump or Joe Biden. It's going to be either or. I don't care about the results, because ultimately the country is going to go where the country is going to go. You know, so, you know, I really have nothing personal against any of them. They're humans at the end of the day. They're people. You know? They're just politicians. Politicians aren't made to care. Like, politicians aren't raised up to care about people. It's like jobs, you know, and management. Management don't care about the workers. They don't care. You think these politicians care about the people? You think they really do? They don't care. They might care about a certain agenda. They might care about their connections. They might care. But when it comes to speaking the truth, I never heard no president speak in the way that Donald Trump has ever spoken. I'm not saying I'm a Trump supporter, because I'm not. I don't support none of them. But I'm telling you that he is the realest president I've ever seen in the history of this country. And I haven't lived back then, but all those early presidents were slave owners. So I don't care about anything about them. They're slave owners. They condone slavery. Any president that condones slavery, I do not respect. I don't respect the George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and I don't care about no founding fathers. This country was founded on blood. This country was not founded. This country was taken over and pillaged, and people were raped and molested and given diseases and wiped out and decimated the Native Americans and stripped them of everything. And yes, they getting paid, and they even getting paid now. And I believe that the Native Americans ain't even paid what they deserve. But let's talk about us. Let's talk about us right now, how we came here on ships back to Egypt. You know, we bang Egypt. You know, look at our communities. Look at it. Just look at them. Look at our communities. The democratic cities. Look at our communities. Look at them. Look at them. How we got everybody else in our community running our communities. Look at it. We got all these other groups of people coming into our communities with their restaurants, with their businesses, taking up our real estate and our properties and our communities, as they called our communities, because they pushed us into a community. They pushed us there. We owned our own stuff. We had our own stuff, redlining and all that. And man, it's so many aspects. So when I look at politics, when I look at this side or that side, because this is deeper than just the names. This is a system that has been used to decimate and destroy a group of people. So it's not just politics, it's culture and entertainment. These things that have been given to us, things that have been infiltrated in our community, from the drugs to the prostitution to the guns and weapons to the violence and try to let somebody starve, like try to let an animal starve and then put them in a cage with another animal. But that's really two starving animals in a cage with each other. Somebody getting eaten. You see the results of our community. And I don't blame Joe Biden. I don't blame Donald Trump. Look at what this country was founded on. I'm not shaming nobody that has pride in this country. This is, you know, this ain't my home. Like, and just, not just like, because I'm a Christian, I believe that I'm from a kingdom not built with hands. I'm a follower of the Messiah. I'm a follower of Jesus. So there's a kingdom that God has. I'm a child of God. There's a kingdom not built with hands. I'm from there. But if we look at geographically and physically, where I'm supposed to be, I'm not there because I'm prophesied to be here. 400 years we'll be afflicted in a land, that a strange land, a stranger land. We will be afflicted 400 years. And after that, the nation I will judge. This is the point where let my people go. They're not going to give us reparations, and they're going to harden their hearts. I don't care what side you on. And I feel like there was one person that most likely was going to move towards giving us reparations. One person. And I believe that was Donald Trump. I believe our perception is messed up and seared. And we've grown to it's sad because it's like, okay, vote. Yeah, vote. They'll tell us to vote. But if we vote for this side, we're evil. If we vote for this side, we ain't down. And I think if somebody tells you you're not black if you don't vote for them, somebody openly admit all these racist things, it says all these racist things about your people, and you still go vote for them, it says something, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to judge you for who you vote for. But I don't think those that vote left shouldn't judge those that vote right. I think you should understand. And those that vote right, you should understand why people vote left. Because there's some aspects on the right that is outright against the black community as well. And I'm not saying Donald Trump is, but I believe the party that he's a part of is against the black community. But I believe that the left is against the black community. They just decided to side with us. Because there's two different types of racism. There's the racism that is outward, like really outward, like Southern racism. They outward with it. They'll tell you to your face, like, I don't like your kind. Or there's the racism that'll be your friend, but not really your friend. That'll secretly talk behind your back to their friends about you. You know, so it's either or, you know, but we the human race at the end of the day, and I feel like politics is just an aspect that creates another form of division. And we have so many things like divide men and women, like men and women divide, older people, younger people divide, children and older people divide, and once again you got Democrat, Republican divide. Let's bring it down even deeper, especially in the black community. iPhone, Android, Jordans, Payless sneakers, classism, where you got rich and poor, or middle class, which is in the middle, which can fall on either side. But it's so many degrees of separation between us. And I feel like the biggest chunk of degree of separation, especially in the black community, is Democrats and Republicans. In the spirit, last election season, I saw a bloodbath in the spirit over the black community alone. Over the black community, I saw a bloodbath. It's another civil war in the spirit right now over the black community. Just like there was a civil war back, I believe, in the 1700s when they were fighting over slaves, bloodshed over slaves. It's the same thing, but it's political slavery. It's Democrat or Republican. There's a civil war. No, this is a prophetic word. I just thought of this. This is a prophetic word. There's a civil war going on in this country. And just like there was a battle over the slaves, there was bloodshed over the slaves, there's bloodshed in the spirit over the slaves today. Democrats and Republicans. One side, just like Abraham Lincoln, don't necessarily care if you're free. But maybe it's for the best benefit of the country if you were free, even economically free. There's a benefit to that. And I believe one president wanted to do that. Doesn't mean that his intentions are 100% pure. And then you got one side that wants you to be a slave forever. And we could talk about the great switch, which 6 politicians switched to different parties. We could talk about that if you want. We could talk about, how the Democrats should be bugging. Nah, stop that. We too smart now. There's some black people that actually read books. There's some black people that actually do research. There's some black people that actually search things out because we are curious now. Because we're getting tired of being lied to in our history books. We're tired of being lied to from politicians. We're tired of being lied to from our parents and our grandparents. We are tired of being lied to. You have a generation of people that have become too smart now. We got technology now and it's advanced. You don't think the Most High was going to use this to reveal the truth of who God's chosen people are? And we can see the living proof today. And politics is the biggest catalyst for our division as a people. One side wants to be slaves, and one side wants to be free. And we're going about it the wrong way, because our freedom and liberation or justice is not going to come from no party or no man, no anything. It comes from the Most High God. Choose who you're going to vote for. I'm not going to shame you. You want to vote for Joe Biden? Go ahead. If you want to vote for Donald Trump, go ahead. I'm completely biased to both sides. I don't care. I don't care anymore. Because I lost so much sleep researching the history of politics in this country, and it grieved my heart. It grieved my heart how much they have a hold on our community. And that's because there ain't enough men standing up. And it goes back to the attack on masculinity. And this ain't just black men. This is men. White men, Hispanic men, Asian men, Middle Eastern men, African men. Whoever's in this country that's a man, there's an attack on you and your soul and your children, especially your boys. So, it's getting dark out here. I just really needed to speak that message. I want to record the rest of these because I'm just done. And not to say done like that, but I'm done. So the next video, I really want to speak more deeply on not just politics, but just us in this country as a whole. Many people don't know who we are. And many brown people in this nation don't know who they are. I'm not here to bring you research. I'm here to bring you my therapy sessions, because I had a lot of things on my mind, a lot of things on my heart. And like I said, I'm closing this series, so I'm going to end it out with some of the most controversial things that have changed the trajectory of a lot of my relationships in this city. When I say in this city, I live in Buffalo. I lost thousands and thousands of friends, thousands of followers from speaking about these exact things that I'm telling you. But I think that it's better to speak about it so you can get my heart, instead of seeing it through a post. It might not be able to get my heart, because ultimately when I was saying what I was saying, I was accused of hating my community. I was accused of hating women. I was accused of hating black people. I was accused of hating my own people for loving my people. You know, so I'll come to you with a heart of love, and ultimately with the love of Christ, you know. And I don't mean Caesar Borgia. I'm gonna post a picture right there of Caesar Borgia, so you can understand that I'm not talking about, when I say Jesus, Yahusha, Yeshua, whatever you want to call him, I'm not talking about that man. I'm talking about the true and living Son of God that died and risen from the grave. It ain't about no skin color, but when you make it about skin color, that's when it becomes false and it becomes a lie. And regardless, these may be some controversial things to talk about once again. And I lost a couple followers already, or subscribers already. I'd rather just, like I said, while I'm earlier in this, I'd rather like, okay, who really following me for real? Like, and I say, because follow me as I follow Christ. This ain't about who follow me. I got a lot of new subscribers on my channel, you know, so a lot of these things that I'm speaking about, I hope that you can truly just see some truth in it. Research yourself. Don't just go off of what I say. Like, research. Do your own research. Do it. I ain't 100% research everything like this. I haven't. But when I got into the deeper intricacies of politics, I have looked into the politics in this country more than who we are, like God's chosen people. I ain't really researched all that. I dived into some things, and I kind of lightly researched and looked at some sources and got to see some viable sources, and which you can't refute the claims that we are the children of Israel. You can't. And the only way that you can do that is God haven't revealed this revelation to everybody. And I'm not saying I'm more special, because there's a bunch of stuff I don't know. But ultimately, that's in the next video. I thank you for watching this one. And you know, I'm not even gonna promote none, you know. I'm just thankful that you watched this video. Like I said, I just want to bring you truth, but I want to bring it to you in a loving way. I never want anybody to accuse me of hatred, but some people are just gonna have their own opinions of you regardless of how loving you are, or how, just for being a masculine man, I'm toxic because I'm masculine. And being masculine isn't something I should ever brag about, or something that I should just throw out there like, I'm a masculine man, like macho, because that's not masculinity whatsoever. There's a level of humility, you know, and honor once you're a masculine man. It's a level of respectability when you're a masculine man. And, you know, just, I'm a wise man. I'm not trying to speak up about myself because I could be stupid sometimes, but regardless, I hope this message has blessed you. I hope you heard something that I said. It kind of sounded like a rant, but hey, it's something I'm getting off my chest before. Like, I just wanted to open you up for the next topic, and I just hope that whoever you vote for in this upcoming election next year, or just whatever option you choose, be open to listening to the other side. And before I end, I just want to say this: be open to being respectful to somebody that may think different than you. Just be respectful towards them. You may not agree. We got to be able to get to the point where we can respectfully disagree with each other. Why does it always have to be violent? And why does it always have to be hatred? Why does it always have to be demon possession and trying to fight one another over who we voting for? Why not just have respect? Why do we have to shun a group of people for either not wanting to vote or voting for a specific candidate on one side? Because this is what the black community does. Especially, it's like you can't win because you either don't vote, or if you vote Republican, you are going to get demonized. If you vote Republican and don't vote, I don't know. That makes you not know what to choose when you say, oh, I don't want to choose this side because y'all just trying to force me to choose the side. Y'all manipulation tactics and witchcraft and trying to make it make sense to vote for this side. But if I don't vote for this side, then I have to vote for this side. But if I vote for this side, then they might not like me. But if I don't vote, they not gonna like me anyways. So it's just like, we gotta stop that, and we gotta do better. We got all these campaigns, vote now, vote, vote, vote. And the moment you choose another side against the status quo in our community, and I feel like that witchcraft is demonic enough right there. You know, so once again, vote for who you vote for. Believe in what you believe. Think what you think. Have your own opinions. Just respect people that think differently than you. It's going to take you a long way, and you're going to learn a lot. You know? Me as a Christian, I listen to Muslims. I listen to people that believe in like Buddhists and other universal things, and I used to believe in a new age, you know. Like, I don't believe in voting or like myself, but I know Democrats and I know Republicans, and they all some cool people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know some cool Democrats and cool Republicans, because it ain't about the party, it's about the heart of a person at the end of the day. And when your heart isn't in the correct place, you're never going to be respectful regardless of who you vote for, you know. So voting for somebody ain't gonna make you better, and not voting ain't gonna make you better. You know, it's just whatever it's in your heart to do and choose, you do that. And if you decide to do something, respect it. And if you decide not to do something, then don't do it. You know, and that's that. But regardless, I hope this message blesses you, and God bless. Woo.